Hi, this is Laurece West from LaureceWestStudios.com. I'm a voice and performance coach. I offer elite training for professional singing and speaking. And we are continuing our series on how to release limiting beliefs, doubt, fear, worry, and let's throw in anger there too. And the reason we're doing this is because it really limits you from peak performance. When you're in these thoughts and feelings and this brainstorm, you're not a clear channel for your unique genius to come through, and you're not able to be the most present you can be with your audience or your listeners, depending on who you're talking to or singing to. So to help you further, today we have with us mindset expert Traci Phillips. Welcome, Traci.
Thank you, Laurece.
So please tell everyone who you are and what you do.
So as you mentioned, I consider myself a mindset strategist and life leadership coach. And my niche is really with busy, growth-oriented professionals who are looking to define their personal values so that they can lead from that place. And to also, what's important is to be able to align the actions and choices that they make to that value so that there's congruency in their lives, which creates ease and flow, and so that really they can be more intentional, purposeful, and powerful in all areas of their lives. So that's really, in a nutshell, how I assist individuals who I work with.
Wow, I love it. The value that you're bringing to people so that they really see who they are and they're really aligned with that, with their actions. That's fantastic. Tell us more about how you work with people's mindset and what you'd like to give to the audience today.
Well, mindset is a lot of times people are like, okay, mindset, that's where I, focus on things. And I always say, yeah, really that's reality, right? Our perception of the reality that we're experiencing becomes our reality, right? So mindset is very important. And one of the things that, we all struggle with knowing better and not doing better, right? That's kind of why we hire anybody, whether it's a coach, a business coach, a life coach, a personal trainer, anybody, a consultant who's supposed to help us is really to bridge that gap between what we know and for whatever we're not able to do. And so what I tell people, is that one of the main things to create congruency, which is ease and flow between where we are and where we want to go, is having a mindset that is going in the direction we want to go. So if you want to go over here and your mindset is shooting you over here, you're not going to get over there, right? So the mindset piece is important because it brings you on board with the process that will take you in the direction that you are saying you want to go. So that's really in a nutshell. And things like the exercise that we're going to go over today is one of those tools that I utilize when specifically we're dealing with things like limiting beliefs or shifting old belief patterns that no longer serve us.
Fantastic. So I think what we've decided is that you're going to just name the 7 steps of this process, and then in the next video we're going to go over it in more detail. So go ahead, Traci.
Okay. Great. So again, I call this really just, shifting old belief patterns or limiting belief patterns, whatever, language that people, come to more authentically. And it is a 7-step process. And again, it's a process. And what I think is important is that we get refamiliarized with the fact that things do take a process, right? We're very convenient oriented in our society, and we a lot of times forget that there's a process, and we're not very patient to process. So it gives a kind of rebalances out our approach to things. So the first part of this process, first step in this process, is to just discover what is it. If we're finding that there are certain blockages that happen in certain situations over and over and over again, it's about taking that time to discover what is it? What is this thing? And a lot of times I'll ask people how they feel. So we look at that piece or uncovering that piece through how we feel about what's going on. Step 2 is acknowledge it, right? So discovered it. Once we've discovered it, we then need to acknowledge it. In other words, what is it telling us, right? What are maybe it's like the Hansel and Gretel breadcrumbs, what is it showing us? Where is it taking us? Step 3 is looking for the greater purpose, right? So once we've maybe acknowledged where it's taking us, how could that be of benefit, right? Is there a greater purpose? There's always a greater purpose. And so what is that? Uncovering that greater purpose. What that allows us to do then is, that greater purpose is I call it the honoring step. We get to honor this maybe not so lovely belief pattern that we've been dealing with, this stuck piece. We can see where it's helped us, it's supported us, it's done something, right? And then we can thank it, right? So we honor it, we can thank it. Now we're prepared. Most people want to go from, what is it? Let's get rid of it. And they skip these very important steps. So after we've, acknowledged it and found its greater purpose, we can thank it. Once we've thanked it, then we can release it. So, step 5 is actually the release process, or the letting go process. We've come to an awareness of what this is, what it's brought to us, why it's brought it to us, what it's given us. And now we can say, but I want something different. So let's put this aside. Let's release this. So then it leaves us step 6, which is to recreate, right? So now that we've released the old, we get to recreate the new, right? Let's recreate. What do we want instead is the question. What do we want? Let's just sit and consider that. And then the final 7th step is intend. Now that we've kind of recreated an idea of what's the idea of what we want instead, now let's set an intention to that, right? I want to be this way. I want to see things in this way. I want to be more patient. I intend to be more patient. I intend to be aware of the process, whatever it happens to be, but, not jump to conclusions. There's so many different places that this process can lead us, but the final step then is to set that intention, because it really is one of the most powerful superpowers that we have as beings, is that power of intention.
Yes.
So those are the seven steps.
Wonderful. Yes, I did another video on affirmations, and intentions are very close to affirmations. It's like, this is what I want. So I love that process. How can people get in touch with you?
The best way to get in touch with me is through my website, theinnatecoach.com. There's a contact little form that people can send to me, and I get it directly, and I get in contact pretty quickly with people that way. They can email me as well, but that's really usually the best contact. That way, also too, they can get to my website and see a little bit, very small bit about what I do. There's also a site that I do a lot of blog posting on, A Certain Way to Wellness. That's another site that people can kind of get my voice, get a little bit more of my approach to coaching from that site. So I always welcome people to kind of get to know me a little bit in those particular venues. And then, they want to reach out, or they have a question about anything I put out there. I always welcome, people contacting me.
That's great. We'll put that below the video here. Thanks so much, and we'll see all of you in Traci's next video. And until next time, sing and speak with your heart.